Hello AUBG, I'm Taylor.
And I'm Victoria.
And we'd like to welcome you to the first episode of thePurple.
It's well known the two most popular majors at AUBG are business and economics.
And recently, to complement that, there has been discussions of implementing a new Entrepreneurship Minor.
Let's get more details on the story.
A possible implementation of Entrepreneurship Minor is being discussed among AUBG community and was proposed on Business Department meeting on October 3rd. Nikola Nikolov, the initiator of the idea, is supported by AUBG alumni and faculty staff.
The idea is a result of a discussion among successful entrepreneurs who are graduates of our university. We came to the conclusion that entrepreneurship is very important for the development of the economy of the region, since it helps to boost creativity and innovation in the economy. If you think about it, business is not just corporate. Actually, at some point, every corporation that is a dream workplace for AUBG students was at one time started by someone. I had the pleasure of going to an entrepreneurship program this summer, which took me to Harvard, MIT, and Babson, especially Babson, one of the top entrepreneurship schools in US. And it turns out that all of those schools, they have their personal investment funds. What this is they go out and they find money from sponsors and they put them together. And they use that money to invest in startup ideas that students have to develop their businesses. So what this provides is a huge opportunity for the universities that they can profit or have equity in some successful startup.
There's been a proposal from a number of students that we introduce an Entrepreneurship Minor that's being discussed at the stage within the department. The proposal has to go through a number of stages. First of all, the proposal has to be approved by the department. Then it goes to the curriculum committee, and then goes to the faculty assembly, and then to the board of trustees. I think encouraging that approach, I think, is very important at this university and among our students. So I think the idea of cultivating a spirit of entrepreneurship among our students is a fantastic idea. It's a great idea, and perhaps this minor is one way of doing this. At this stage, it's too early to say how this is going to work out. Good starting point is an entrepreneurship course that we're offering at the moment. Entrepreneurship course was offered last year and it will be offered again next semester. So if students want to get an idea of what an entrepreneurship minor might look like, then they should have a look at this course.
There is not an official decision for having an entrepreneurship minor by the business department. Therefore, it remains only an idea, and it shows a potential for development of our business department, but no more than that. The appropriate environment for this type of a course includes a network of interested, successful entrepreneurs who are willing to come on campus, spend time, and sometimes a lot of time, with our students, giving feedback and helping them see the advantages and the problems with their business ideas.
I guess I'm one of those people who are not particularly enthusiastic about this idea. I think that the core classes that we already have within business department, like marketing classes, corporate finance and human resources, are already giving you enough information to facilitate your understanding of entrepreneurship. And it cannot be really taught within the framework of our university and of our classes. I do think that AUBG students will benefit much more from introducing maybe particular suggested topics within business department, but not as a separate minor.
Hey Taylor, what are your thoughts on the Soviet party?
Well, last year, coming to AUBG as an exchange student, I came to realize that the Soviet party is about a lot of vodka, questionable dancing, and I might have even learned a little something about post-Soviet culture.
That sounds about identical to the ongoings of this year's party.
I couldn't agree more.
Запалили секреты, зажигали танцоры, прикололи на лето Светофоры, танцполы, света, музыка ярко. Девочки, открывашки, поцелуи, подарки на красивых рубашках. Девочки, мальчики, танцуем, девочки, мальчики, танцуем, девочки, мальчики, танцуем. Раз, два, три, по парам. Девочки, мальчики, танцуем, девочки, мальчики, танцуем, девочки, мальчики, танцуем. Раз, два, три, по парам. Хочешь, не перехочешь, понимаешь, как будто беспонтовые ночи, синеглазое утро удивляли друг друга, забавляли глазами, рассказали подруге, рассекретили сами. Девочки, мальчики, танцуем, девочки, мальчики, танцуем, девочки, мальчики, танцуем. Раз, два, три, по парам. Девочки, мальчики, танцуем, девочки, мальчики, танцуем, девочки, мальчики, танцуем. Раз, два, три, по парам.
The biggest story on campus lately has been the dramatic turn of events at the All-Student Assembly.
But since then, things have quieted down, leaving us all wondering what happened.
Decisions have been made, changes have been implemented, and apologies have been said.
Let's take a look.
After all student assembly got disrupted and the motions were not approved, a lot of controversial accusations and apologies followed.
During the ASA, the student government presented its budget, which was proposed by the SG. Afterwards, we expected the students would raise the concerns and would try to change the budget to increase their buckets or to introduce new ones. And it has taken place. Some of the clubs managed to increase their budgets. However, for the ASA to have a decisional power, the quorum should be met, and this year it should have been 205 students. And we announced that if there will be like one or two more students, I don't remember it now, who leave the auditorium, we wouldn't have a quorum, and therefore no more decisions can be made. And after some of the clubs got their budgets increased, as most of you know, they left the auditorium, and therefore the students could not change anything. After all these actions took place, student government members were approached by a lot of students asking whether we can cancel the decisions that took place on the ASA because they felt betrayed and they weren't supporting those motions anymore. And we didn't have the answers at the moment because we don't remember such situation to occur in AUBG, and that's why we called for an extraordinary meeting to inform the students about the official procedures. And as it happened, we were actually right, and the budget should have stayed as we suggested it in the beginning because there was no voting on the overall budget. There are two ways to have an extraordinary ASA meeting. One of them is the petition signed by 10% of the student body, and currently it should be 103 students. Mm-hmm. And the other way is it should be 2/3 of the Senate voting on having another ASA. However, as we believe there is no need for the Senate to vote on it because there is no demand to have another ASA, and that's why we didn't vote on the SG meeting. However, if there is a petition and if we see that there are enough students interested in that, we're going to have it.
On September 20th, the day after the ASA scandal happened, 4 clubs who left the auditorium had a conference where they apologized in front of the student body.
So far, for the most part, we have been justifying ourselves. In this regard, I'm not by any means trying to rectify the actions that I took personally. I recognize that I in fact made a mistake at the ASA. I should not have left. We've explained our reasons for doing so. But at the time, I was not thinking. I was not thinking about other people. I was not thinking at all. My actions at the ASA were purely based on emotions. And
it's not like we had a group of people that we told to vote for Olympics and more honors and the musical. Our club members, sure, they would vote for the club.
You can clearly see that it was not just one person leaving and everybody was like, oh, one person left, I'm going too. It was not like that. Just because probably, as you've already recorded and you know, that people, even senators, and the people who are talking on behalf of small clubs, they were talking rather emotionally. They were saying the things that basically expressing personal opinion that I personally do not agree with. So me as a person, I was not willing to stay there and to listen to that. So that's why I left, and I think for me that was the decision I made.
But I think it was obvious that we did not, all of us, just stand up and leave at one point. It was basically a big confusion.
We talked to Robert White, we talked to Lydia Kreis, and they all confirmed, and this is exactly what happened last year when the students left, the quorum was broken, and then the SG representatives and also the people who stayed inside, they went to the library, they got new people, and they reestablished the quorum.
How much time have you spent online this week?
Victoria, what is this online thing you're always speaking about?
Online? The World Wide Web? One of the only uses for a computer?
Computer. Actually, I've got one, but I haven't been using it for this mythological online thing you're speaking about. But let me tell you, it makes one heck of a heater during these cold nights.
OCC, being about as useful as a potato in a thunderstorm, hasn't done much to help students with the week-long internet crisis we've been faced with.
Forcing many AUBGers to experience new and uncomfortable things.
Like a life without 9Gag and legal torrents.